morning. Welcome to Banter with Richie B Live.
Somewhere beyond the beaten path, beyond the whispers in the woods and the stories around the fire, lurks one of the greatest mysteries of our time, Bigfoot. For decades, legends have echoed through the forests, footprints left behind, sightings that defy logic, and questions that demand answers. But this isn't just folklore. This is a call to investigate, to explore, and to uncover the truth. Banter with Richie B isn't just another show. It's a community, a movement, a hub for genuine research, real conversations, and boots-on-the-ground discovery. Every episode dives deep into evidence, expert interviews, field investigations, and the drive to seek what others say is impossible. If you believe in asking questions, if you're ready to get your boots dirty, and if you think the unknown deserves more than just a passing glance, then follow Banter with Richie B. Stay informed, stay sharp, and maybe, just maybe, be the one who finds the truth hiding in the trees.
I love you, baby Jack. I want you guys to keep climbing. I love you, Mama. WOJO's gonna get us out of here because that's what he does.
That's right. Hey, nice meeting you all. Thank you for being on there. And yes, we are home of the Bones. Let's go.
What you yelling about? Yo.
I measure out. I can do that.
What is it?
It's just a heat filter.
Oh, nighttime. Man down, man down. You all right? Oh, God. Oh, shit. That was not on purpose. Holy shit.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Banter, Richie B live podcast. We are in studio. Yeah, I had a little bit of a long intro. Whatever. Don't hate me. It's good stuff. I just enjoy it. Sam makes amazing videos. I had an amazing video of Jack as the hawk up in the tree. And, of course, the, I would say famous, but I'm going to call it infamous, ice fall that I took. And then my buddy came over to save me. You know, it's funny because I have a clip of it from my angle because, of course, I was live on YouTube. And it's even funnier. Like the dude coming over to say, you landed right on my hip. But, yeah, I found that in the archives, and I figured I'd run it during the – what? How? You saying you can't hear me? Say hi. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, someone said muted. I'm over here thinking I'm muted.
Not me.
All right, people, unmute your shit before you tell me I'm muted.
By the way, guys, my name's WOJO. I am not the other guy. Boom! Welcome to the show.
I brought you in because I thought nobody could hear me. What the hell is that? All right.
I'm like, is he looking at me?
I don't want nobody. Hey, listen, I don't want nobody writing that down because they can use that against me. I'm telling you, I stopped right in my tracks. What the hell? Whatever. I'm all thrown off now. Anyways, if you guys recall,
trying to help a friend out.
You try to help me out. You're like, can I help you out? Ah! Oh my God, that dude, I can still feel that pain because it was so cold. and I landed on the ice. I landed pretty gracefully. The phone never like hit the ground or nothing. I held it up and I landed in my back. I rolled to my backpack. You know what I mean? So I was nice and safe. And I just was like, yeah, that was stunning. I'm going to give it a minute before I get up. And Wojo's like, you need a hand? And comes over off the top ropes like Macho Man Randy Savage and lands on my hip. Are you okay, Pamela? Oh, it was my Pam goes, sorry, it was my personal problem. Yeah, you ain't shitting, Pam.
You know the sad part is out of all that?
What?
I walked on the right-hand side of the path thinking that I have leverage, and I ended up being on a slight hill when I went to grab you.
Yeah, because the ice, well, we didn't realize the ice was like this. It was like, I'm telling you, but you didn't see it because of the snow. And I thought I was walking on snow, and it was just all ice, all of it, every bit of it. And it's funny when I watch that in slow motion, my foot comes right out like I'm doing that little side kick with the heels in the old movies. Boop, boop, you know what I mean? It's a great fall. I got to be honest with you, probably one of my best falls.
No, ever. But it's your reaction. All you hear is like that. It's just like your voice went like that, and I'm like, oh shit!
I'm like, what are you doing?
And poor Max, who's gonna help Max? Max just stayed back. He's like, oh my god!
You hear him in the video laughing at the two old clowns on the ground.
Oh my god!
But it was great. Anyways, new time tonight, obviously 7:00. Speaking of Max, they won their baseball game, and Max had a hit with 2 ribbies, and it was nice. And some of the younger kids are coming up that I coached before, so it's good to see them coming up into the senior league. And another kid was playing for the other team. The 1 year I coached here in the town I'm in now, I coached him, and I got to see his dad and talk to his dad for a little bit and see him. It was awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the Rockettes. You got that right. No, anyways, it was a really nice time. So that's the summertime hours at 7 p.m. And that's the way it's got to stay. So I have a special guest for you guys tonight. It was funny because the special guest calls WOJO earlier, but WOJO doesn't know the special guest is coming on yet because I figured I'd just have him come backstage. I wasn't going to pull a prank or nothing, just going to have him come backstage and we'll all sit here and talk. And you'd be like, oh, Ernie's on the show, right? That's my surprise guest. Ernie Davio's here. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, he's talking. It's 8 minutes before the show. And then it puts me on a 3-way phone call. And they start talking about the show. And I'm like, what are we doing? I don't talk about the show before the show. I never talk about the show before the show. It's completely organic. I don't want to talk about the show. And I flip out and hang up on him. And poor Mojo's like, he doesn't know what's going on. I figured Ernie had told you by that point, that he was coming on the show tonight. Well,
Ernie, you idiot.
Come in here and explain himself. Yeah, what are you doing? Everybody welcome Ernie Davio to the show, my man. What are you doing?
Thank you.
He's a social butterfly. He's just like, hello.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I go out to the shed out here, the man cave thing, and I change. I'm a different individual. I just wanted to make sure that WOJO was awake.
Yeah, right. Well, I dozed off with my little one, but it was funny. So what I did this week, we're gonna get to saying hello to everybody real quick, and we can have Ernie on the show while we do that. But as you can see, I'm wearing my Dark Realm TV shirt. That's where Fear lives.
Where Fear lives.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, I threw a curveball. Every Amazon Fire Stick, every Roku television, all over the world, baby. Get that app, $4.99 a month, and you get all kinds of stuff on there. Not just us, not just Bigfoot. You get paranormal. You get all kinds of cryptids, UFOs, wrestling, all kinds of stuff. So get over there and get that app, man. And at the very least, if you can't get the app, get over to Facebook and follow them. You guys are a big part of them getting up to 2,000 followers in no time. As soon as they asked, we made that happen. So that's pretty awesome. But what I did was, because I know Ernie, you could throw a seed at Ernie and then he'll just water it and make it grow on his own. So when we found all these sticks, I'm going to call them sticks at this point, and they were odd and, different and all this stuff looking at them. And having conversations about him. I brought it up to Ernie. I figured I'd put it out there for him. And of course, he'd come back with some profound, cool shit. So I was like, yeah, why don't you come on the show Saturday so we can talk about this? Right, my man?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we're going to do. So let's say hi to everybody, and see where it goes. I do have a portrait and landscape version. If you guys want to just obviously watch the landscape version because you're not on your phones, that option is on YouTube or should be on YouTube. So make sure you get over there and do that. I will be announcing a May raffle. We're going to do 2 weeks apiece. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to work in a little bit. I'll be painting and listening to you. Well, thank you, Crystal. What are we painting this evening? We painting a house. We painting a portrait. We painting WOJO in a fig leaf. How are we doing that? And then we'll talk a little bit about last night's investigation as well. So Gene Tewksbury was #1 in the house. The Ghost Cats and Cryptids host, Gene Tewksbury, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern time. She absolutely kicks ass. She was out researching today with a little one. So that's cool. Very excited. Pamela, who's become an amazing moderator for us. Thank you so much, Pamela, for all you do. Even telling me I'm on mute when you're on mute. That was pretty well played. Castile, MC. Right, Wojo?
What's up, Castile?
Bring on squatching. Kurt W.
Secret Squirrel.
Listen, I want everybody to hit that like button. If you just came into the show, I watch the numbers jump. I want you to like, subscribe, notify. I want you to hang out with us right here, man. This is an interactive podcast. You're not just to watch. You are to participate. We have a lot of fun here. We're a family here, and we'd love to have more of you. Just be respectful. That's all we ask. Let's see. I keep forgetting that I can scroll like this. It's Bree. What's up, it's Bree?
Hey, Bree.
Yeah, everybody hit that like button. If you're in here now, make sure. I'm going to go check on YouTube. I want to see those like numbers go up. Likety. I got everything downloaded or uploaded or however you want to look at it into the background. We're going to swing around into the big wall and we're going to do it early, man. We're going to look at these sticks up close and we're going to have a conversation. You tell me by the end of the show, are these just sticks or are they tools? Are they tools used by our friends? But you got to know context. Context is everything all the time. Remember that. Martin's here. Martin. Dude, I got hungry today, man. Like crazy hungry. I have not eaten like that. I had like 4 pieces of pizza and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Does that even make sense? I think I'm pregnant. All right, on with the show. Okay. Let's see. BMO cheesecake all the way. Cheesecake's the best. See, I just talked about food and there's cheesecake. I should have got a damn cheesecake.
New York style is awesome.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. So don't get me started. Denny O's in the house. What's up, big Denny? We were hanging with Denny last night. Denny says, "Hey, I'll meet you at the location at 5:30." That's what he says. I go, "Aren't you right over at the campground? The campground's literally half a mile from my house." He's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way then." Like, I'm coming to the campground to see you and hang out a little bit. I don't get to see you that much. He tried to deflect. Didn't work, buddy. I showed up at the campground. Yep. JT's in the house.
Hey, many blessings, JT.
JT. Wes Whittam. What's up, dude?
WW. What's happening,
Wes,
my friend?
Wes, I got to talk to you because you and I had a mutual friend I noticed looking at your Facebook. Does Brad Delp ring a bell? God bless you, brother. I'm pretty sure it does, my friend. Pretty sure it does. He's a lead singer of Boston. Apparently, Wes was is quite a musician. Did you know that?
Yes. I think it's fantastic. We're knowing these people
got some history.
Like Benza. You know, Benza's, he was a percussionist for Ziggy Marley and
Yep.
Now we get WW. That's
WW. Don't get Kurt W upset now, giving away his nickname. We don't want him crying. Mickey Richards, what's up, Mickey Richards? Curious Cryptids is here.
Hey,
what's
Curious.
Up,
hey,
TM Drake.
TM Drake, what's happening?
Ba, 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 ba. All right, all my nonsense that I love to write. Finchy's in the house. He says, "Welcome to Bigfoot Banter with Richie B and the WOJO Mojo."
Hey, Finchy.
Finchy D-Hoot.
Hey, D in the hoot.
The Buddha. Yeah. Plus, I don't know how many people we've had a lot of new people here, so I wanted to see that video because that video's a great way to start the show. Have a laugh at yourself, enjoy it. You know what I mean? It was a pretty funny moment. We got to give it that. Crystal Altman is here. Hello.
Hey, Crystal. Thank you for being on here.
Arthur. Walk. Is it walk? W-A-C-H? Is that how you say that with a C-H?
Walk. Yeah.
I would say so.
What's going on, Arthur? Great to see you, bud.
What up, Arthur? Arthur's here. Arthur's here. Thank you, Arthur, for being here. What was that? What was that? Did you knock over?
WOJO drumming.
Did you knock over a trash can?
I'm right here.
Ron Winoski. We are always watching. Oh. I don't know whether to say thank you or shut my shades.
Great to see you, Ron. Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Mooncat Ops.
What's up, Mooney?
Go check
the cat and the ops.
Go check out Mooncat Ops over on YouTube, man. He's got a cool little channel going. So make sure you guys all support him and his adventures, man. And that's what he calls them. What's that say? Martin? Ernest Martin? I don't know. No. Is it no? Oh, I got to figure that one out. Welcome to the show. That's a new name. Good to see you here. A little one is doing a 5K run tomorrow, so I'm making signs. Oh, okay. There you go, Crystal. Doing the 5K. Steven Panzini. Hey, forget about it, huh?
What's up there, Pazzini?
Benno says, good morning, everyone. Good morning / evening, y'all.
What's going on, Aussie?
BMO says, tools done. Drop the mic and walk away. Kelly Porter, New Hampshire Bigfoot guy. Hey, guy.
What's going on, Kelly?
Look at all these lovely faces in here. I love it. One grateful mom. How are you? Hey, guys. Vince's sister in the house. Yep, that's Gayla right there.
Hey, great to see you on here.
Love you, girl.
Oh, it's Noreen Martin. I'm sorry. Yeah, you met Noreen and her daughter who just recently got married with Billy.
Saint Martin.
Saint Martin, yes.
That's what threw me off was the ST.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Noreen.
That's why I kept reading it and I didn't say hi. I was like, who is that?
Yeah,
sorry, Noreen.
No, good job, man. Yeah, you got me, Noreen. I don't know why her name looked different. I've seen her in here before. Are you on a different platform?
I know.
Is she on a different platform?
No,
Ben YouTube and Richie WOJO.
Ernie threw us off. That's all. Blame her.
Ernie's. Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. Sorry, Noreen. That was WOJO's fault.
Yeah.
When all else fails, blame the WOJO.
Everything else is my fault.
Yeah. It looks like it looks. There's something different about her name. I don't know if it's the purple N or something. I'm a pretty visual dude and I have photographic memory, so something's different. I don't know what it is, but it got me there.
It's the EST. It's the.
It looked like separate like words, almost like Ernest. When I looked at it, Ernest. There's another Ernest here.
I was too. I thought it said no Ernest. Like Ernie, somebody doesn't like you.
Yeah, you got a hater in here, Ernie.
That's all right.
No Ernest.
Stand in line.
Ernie's dealt with that before, right, Ernie?
Yeah. Stand in line.
Yeah, stand in line. So check it out. I was working down the softball field today, getting it ready for the season, and I found this cool, empty little boxer shell.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's even got his spine rack in there where it was held. His spine was held on. You can't really see it, but I'll show it to you later. But anyways, I thought it would be a nice little fit for my desk. Nice and disgusting. Okay, my friends, let's talk some wood. Oh, there's one up there. Hang on. I'm really prepared for the show. Hang on. I was sleeping, remember? All right. This is my favorite, to be honest with you. There's one other one. My point of interest is this guy here. Because I want to know why it's made like a medieval weapon. Right? With those extra points on it. You see the 3 extra points? Like like you stick it in there somewhere and it's just, it's pretty awesome.
Stab and grab.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right? But so Ernie, I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And we had a nice, interesting conversation. I was sending things over to you via the phone, and we were talking about that. And because I'm, I get pretty, I get curious like everybody else, right? We're all a bunch of critical thinkers, right? We all get really curious, real fast, real easy. And I said, well, who do I know that I can send this to? Because we have a great team, right? And you're part of that team, and everybody on the side, and things you could send to Curious, and she goes crazy and just runs with it. You can drop info in the messenger, and then there's banter back and forth between Kurt and Denny and Andy, and people in there, and they're breaking things down. Robin jumps in, Martin jumps in, and you get all these beautiful points of view about the one subject. And it's really a great way to research and add to your research and try to find answers. Because, this isn't a show just to be a show. This is a research broadcast, basically, to find answers, right? So we don't have fans. We have professional researchers. That's the way I feel about it. And yeah, nobody's an expert about Bigfoot and all that stuff. I'm talking about when you research so much in your life, or you do anything so much you become a professional at it. And you have your own techniques, and you have your own style, you have your own thought process, and you add to others. And that's what we have. And it's one of the most profound group of people that I've ever been around, and so smart, so brilliant. It's just awesome. And the different walks of life and all this stuff, and they all come together for the same reason. And they're smart as hell, and they add to it. So I go through my little brain Rolodex. What's up, Frankie Too Sweet? I feel a little weird saying that. Hey, Frankie Too Sweet. What you up to? So I go through my Rolodex and see who fits what the best. Right? And I felt Ernie Davio would fit this subject. I'm not saying he's better than anybody else, but everybody has an area kind of. And I know Ernie's going to stop breaking this shit down. I know he's not going to be able to help himself. He's going to be all over this shit. And you plant it, you have the conversation, and then you wait 24 hours. And here comes Ernie, man. Here comes Ernie with his analysis, right? Yeah, Frankie, is that cool? We have an understanding, right? I'll call you Frankie, and the ladies call you Frankie Too Sweet. Fair enough? Or WOJO. WOJO likes calling you that.
No, I'm going to call you Frank Furter. That's it.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Frankie between the buns. How's that with relish?
Hi, Mary Newbert. I love you. Everybody that just came in, please hit the like button. I really want to see the likes go up. The like buttons. Fair enough. Let's get those emojis rolling. Let's get this built up. We're at a new hour. I'd like to see that climb pretty quick. And, hopefully we get, more people like us kind of in here and sticking around. The ones that come and go, they come and go. It's not their thing. No big deal. But the bigger team we have, the better, a lot of critical thinkers. So Ernie, when I called you, I started showing you these sticks. We started putting our heads together a little bit, man. What'd you start to think when you saw some of them?
Well, as soon as you started showing it to me, is my head just started spinning. I call it, going back to what I've learned, what I've read, and retained. A lot of people are like, for instance, if you look at Russell Easterbrook's book that he put out there, he has a pretty good sized list of all the foods that the forest people eat. Well, there's one that's even bigger than that, and that was done by a ranger out in I think Yellowstone, he spent 4 or 5 years out there, and then he got another ranger to go out there with him. And they were watching these forest people for years at a pretty darn good distance, everything that they ate and what they came up with, because this leads right into these sticks here and everything. What they came up with was a whole list of these food sources of vegetation and everything that we can't eat because of the toxins in it. We could eat acorns if we process it. We could eat a lot of things if we process it. Goats, because that's what it was compared to, was goats. Goats can eat poison ivy. Goats can eat pine trees. Okay, things like that. They can eat just about anything. So they figured that is exactly their metabolism. The forest people can eat all this stuff. So when you presented that to me, as my mind immediately went back there, and I'm trying to think of why would they? But I know how WOJO in your mind works. You're going to eliminate a lot of things. There's a lot of questions that I don't really have to ask you, other than the fact is, like, everybody listening, because we all work as a team, we want to make sure you didn't forget this or that. And that makes a really great team. We all learn from that. And one of the things was some people might be saying, like, well, it could be a beaver. Well, I can assure you that a beaver isn't going to travel a mile to go get a branch to help build their dam. Okay. They're going to knock a tree down and they're going to take the branches off it as close as they can to where they're working on it. So the next thing that we were looking at, it was the teeth marks. Are there teeth marks all the way around it? And that's when Richie presented, take a look at this right here. So what we think could have been a teeth mark in the very beginning. It looks more like a fingernail mark, and the other part looks like teeth marks. Now, those teeth marks have been recorded by a great witness that he actually found. He didn't find them, but they were reported to him, 2 bone piles on Mount St. Helens before Mount St. Helens blew up. And they were found by hunters out there. And what got him was the fact is the bone piles were there in a pile. Animals scatter bones everywhere. And the way that these bones were gnawed down were like a human being would do, like an ear of corn. Animals just don't really do that, And if it's a branch or anything like that, like big beaver would go all the way around it. Those branches that Richie has haven't been touched that way. The other thing about the branches and what we believe are the teeth marks on there, okay, because we're eliminating everything, we figure, well, maybe it was a porcupine, because porcupines, you're looking at I think it's called cambium in there that we can eat, and it has actually sustained fur trappers during harsh winters from dying. Okay, so what are the things that we're looking at in there is medicinally, for what could they possibly get off of eating some of the bark or peeling it off, taking the cambium out? What else does that pine tree have to offer? It comes up with a lot of minerals and a lot of vitamins, high in vitamins. So it points directly towards them doing something like that for the nutritional value. Where it was found, which Richie shared with me, near a creek or a pretty good sized creek, I'll call it, because it's bigger than a brook. We were talking about, because he had found a fish there too, and how old the fish was, and it had a hole in it, and it measured off to fit one of the sticks. Are there any fish running right now? Because we also have eyewitness accounts, testimonies, that when the fish are running in certain areas, they indeed do. We've heard stories from indigenous people for salmon and other things like that. But I have it from a good source, that it wasn't just he found it one time. He actually found it 2 times within a 4-year period of time, because it takes quite a bit of time and energy to get into where he goes in there. But what he had also found is he also found the glyphs on there. And figuring out the glyphs, we kind of knew that they were the ones that were responsible for going in there, and the sticks that were broken, and they how many of them there were, blah, blah, blah. It's very interesting. So we can't say absolutely 100%, But I'll tell you what, it's right up there. It's right on top of there. These guys have more information that I don't. I'm not even privy of, but I know that they do have it. One of the other things that like a raccoon or a porcupine will do, they may nip off a small tree branch or whatever it may be. They're more interested in the bark, particularly cedar, I think it is. Those sticks are going to fall directly underneath the pine tree. There were no pine trees around there. It was located next to a slide, what you call a slide. People unfamiliar with that is you look at a really steep hill. If you go up the hill, like Jack and Jill, and you want to come down, you're best off not to try to, particularly where I live right now, to try to come down and stand up. You want to sit down, and believe it or not, deer do that also. Okay, so why wouldn't they do that? You know, to be safe, to come down rather than come down full tilt. I mean, why sprain an ankle or anything like that? And I think that's what you guys are finding. So I'm leaning heavy towards, I'd like somebody that deals in like dentures, okay, to take a look at that and see if it matches up with anything that they're doing. So you have even that 1% more to give you the 100% look at this is what it is. And to have them in basically a grouping, the sticks in a grouping, something use them, something place them there, you know, to get rid of them. Now, what we've found, because people are going to be wondering, well, does anybody know anything about are they using tools? Yeah. Ray Hardwood, he does a Bigfoot Quest magazine, great researcher. Okay. He had given me a call one time, and we were discussing that, and I asked him what it was. What did you find? And right near a game trail, they had a sapling that went over the game trail, and everybody knows what that is more than likely from, okay, and why. And right on the other side was a pretty good sized boulder, but behind the boulder that you really couldn't see, there was a tree, and in between the tree and the boulder were 2 clubs, what we would call clubs. Okay, so quite obviously that they are using things like this if they have to, either a juvenile that just maybe not fast enough or strong enough, set up on that pinch point, that ambush point. And we know that they do love to do things like that, to make a little structure where they're kind of like somebody that's bow hunting would do, a blind. They call them blinds, right, WOJO? And sit in that blind so you can see down a trail in both directions, you know. So that's exactly where my mind was going. So I figured I would dig into that. I would look for pictures online of anything that resembled that. I'm not coming up with anything. It's exactly what Rich says. Those sticks look polished. You know, they look like they were taken with your hand and rubbed. They look like they're maybe bitten, like the tip of them to sharpen them, because they're, you know, it's pretty easy to do that and even take a little bite out of that, because they really don't have to make it all that sharp. Somebody might say, well, why didn't they use mahogany or elk or maple or something like that, elm or something like that? Well, you know, if you're only going to take something and just stab it, you don't need anything special. Okay, you can take a straw and put it through a potato by holding it on one end, the very opposite end that you're going to hit the potato with. If you do it right and you do it fast enough, you put it right through a potato. If you do it slow, you're going to break your straw, bend it over. So you don't need anything that strong to use as a weapon, that kind of a weapon, or even for digging bone marrow out, for that fact, because they have been known to do that also.
That's one point I didn't even think about, because we have some bones here, Woj. Remember, some of them were like half filled with the bone marrow. Other ones are just empty. And we're trying to figure out how they're getting out of there. And we thought of the theory that the peanut butter stick, when we found that one, we had a discussion one time about they're picking it with a stick, but this stick wouldn't be strong enough if the bone marrow was dried up and a little bit hardened. So you'd need something a little bit better than that. You have to make it this size to get in there, but it would have to come from a fatter stick in order to do that, in order to make it strong, right? So, because this stick would break, right? We agree on that, you know? This is their spoon that we left them a while back, and they used it. Yeah, no, exactly. All great, interesting points. And again, here's our thinkers. Frankie, I think some of that remains to be seen on what size trees they would knock down, or do they just go over and snap a branch off a tree that's already fallen, So BMO is hard at work as usual. Probably not even hard at work for him. What's up, William Nighthawk? Good to see you, my brother. Bagamagan, Wampanoag wooden club with prongs on the end for catching and killing small animals is a thing, apparently. Benno says Bigfoot may have a more effective appendix to break down this cellulose. Right. I mean, we don't know that, right? We don't know that autonomy type stuff, but it's a great point, I had a dog named Sadie, and she was amazing, and she was my buddy. And I played softball a lot, and I would go head first on stone dust all the time. And stone dust has chemicals in it, and I had friends that got infections, staph infections from it. And I never would. And people would say, how come, you don't get anything, infected? I said, well, I clean it first of all, but that doesn't always do it. Well, I would have my dog come over and lick my wound. And she would lick my wound, and my wound would heal within 7 days. My skin was scabbing over. It was like other guys were still red raw. And I never got a staph infection. And people were like, what the hell's that? I said, my dog licks my wounds. They have enzymes on their tongue that can take on certain bacterias, and they do. Look it up. And she did. That's what she would do. So whenever I came home, I would just sit on the couch, and she would just blah, blah, blah. and she would just save my ass, man. I'm telling you, she was amazing. Yeah, we'll definitely will, Wes. Yeah, I got a cool one when he was playing at the Boston Garden in one of the what was that? I think it was the AAF parties that they used to have or something like that. We got backstage passes, and we were hanging out with Brad, and I was up on stage with Foreigner. I was doing guitar kicks off their amps. It was pretty cool. What's up, Paul Anthony? Ernie has one of the most fascinating encounter stories I've ever heard. Yeah, he does, man. He does. And there's this dude right here. One of the renderings. Yep. Thank you for that, Paul. You're absolutely correct. Yep. WOJO's wearing his shirt. Why is that one blacked out? That was weird. You see that? That comment's grayed out right here on the side. Yeah.
Unless it's,
I don't know. Wampanoag women and children use these sticks for foraging, gathering roots, cultivating soil, and digging for clams and other tubers. Great stuff, BMO. Way to come out of the gates firing. You did some homework, I think. And his homework is probably, done the first in class all the time. Kurt W says, default denture moldings, great thought. Do they have sample examples of animal jaws? Yeah, they might. And teeth molds, probably a dead end. No, not at all. Not a dead end, because you could eliminate. You might not have what you're looking for on record, but you can go down and X out the list. So no, not a dead end, man. It's a great idea. Absolutely. Probably a dead end and a bad idea. No, sir. But I'm saying that's not Beaver. I agree, Ernie. Yeah, I think we've had that talk. And let's put away the definite thought. Let's be skeptics. Let's be rational thinkers. Let's take it little by little and see what we come up with. And then by the end of the show, we'll kind of have a little vote, so to speak, right? Let's do it that way. The bigger the cryptid, the more oxygen intake is needed, which in turn increases blood flow, and increases energy in the body. That's William. They don't have to eat the bark, just chew and suck the juice, carbohydrates, starches, and sugars, dietary fiber, vitamins, notably vitamin C. I heard that too, dogs. I'm telling you, it was amazing, dude. It would hurt at first, but I could feel it healing the next day. You know that when you get a big scrape and you feel your skin kind of coming back and it gets real itchy kind of feeling, right? A little irritated and itchy, but you could tell it's healing. And then boom, Sadie, come here. And I'd tap where my cut was, and she'd come back and take care of me. She's my girl. Let's see. I think that's everybody on the side. Good stuff already, guys. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so WOJO, what do you want to say before we go up on the screen, my man?
Well, I can just say just a couple of things. Tools can be made for like various sizes depending on what they're making. And also too, to back it up, where we did get to the ridge, don't forget the pine trees are more in the inlet side. Okay, yep. And the outside of the ridge is more of the hardwoods. Okay, you don't see too many pine trees, yep. So they're taking pine trees from a little bit more of a distance and going from the hill that I saw that's dug in. I'm looking to see any other type of animals that would slide down and dig in or what have you. And I just found it just seemed something very large in width that went down with depth. And seeing then seeing the sticks, again, you have sticks that are pine, which is the most brittle out of the whole forest. Because we have hemlock, we have maple, that are much harder wood. Ooh. And so, as for the biting thing, I think it's more to me looking at the lines. I've never seen a Bigfoot hand. I don't know. But I don't know how they manicure their hands. I'm just thinking of a stick. Like for me as a hunter, like if I was bored, you sit there, if you're making an arrow, you grab a sheath and a knife and you just start, making the long slices, trying to make things even. Here, I don't know. Maybe they have longer nails. Maybe it's a way of manicuring because it's a softer wood. And then just kind of working their way down, digging in towards the top, Rich, towards the top of that stick. With a triple knot and just dig their way in and just even it out.
Well, that and it's funny. No, I think it's a great point that you say. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't want you to get lost on that thought. There's these little things in here, and you'll see them in the pictures. They don't look like even teeth. Like our teeth are, you know what I mean? Like evenly placed apart, right? They're not like that. They're actually just kind of spotted all over the place, which would be indicative of just grabbing, right? And it having like two fingers end up in different spots. They almost look like the like little bugs or something was trying to eat the pine, but they don't. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that, but not. So I'm looking at it, and it's all uneven and stuff, and it would make sense is where they dug their fingernail in and started the peel. And then you're over here and you start the peel, and then you're over here and you start the peel. And there's all these little digs. And then right here, guys, and I know you can't see it. I just want you to see the distance apart. There's some right here, 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 and here, which would be perhaps that, right? Because you gotta keep it's tight to the stick. Like this one here, there's still a piece of bark, right? I can only get that little piece off, but I can't. I have to do this, and it breaks and it goes down. You see that? It breaks and goes down. It's still there. So I have to break it off. So in other words, what I'm saying is it's kind of like when you're prying something and you kind of dig in a little further and lift up, dig in a little further and lift up, digging a little, like you got a screwdriver and you're trying to pry something. You know what I mean? It's interesting. In the old days, some native people used clamshells to pull out unwanted hair. So they have the ability to problem solve. Interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Hey, OBR, by the way, I don't know if I said hello. Lori Ladd, what's happening, Lori Ladd? If whoever just came in and names I mentioned, William, everybody, please hit that like button. We're at a new time at 7 p.m. Eastern time throughout the summer, and I really would like to kind of get it going pretty quick. So, William, thank you for that. Yeah, that's interesting. And William mentions shells. There's freshwater clams there. Freshwater, what are they called? What am I saying? I just went blank, but I love them. They might
like steamers.
Yeah, but not what are those ones? What are the long ones? The dark ones, the black ones with the little belly inside it. That's so good. Oh my god! Is it muscle? No, not mussels, right?
Well, mussels.
Mussels.
Is it mussels? Yeah.
Yeah, mussels. Mussels can be, depending on where you go, they're going to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, but you can get them freshwater. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I like mussels.
Yeah, I do too.
In a pasta sauce.
You know, what we didn't cover for the audience is the fact is why would they take the bark off of there? So we have one reason already. The second reason is your house isn't made of lumber that still has the bark on it. They take the bark off of there. If you were to have to make something out in the woods and you wanted to keep it for a little while, or let it last a little bit, you want to take the bark off it. That's going to help it dry out. It's going to make it a little bit stronger. You know, there'd be no bugs in there to eat it up or rot it out or anything like that. I want to add too is what this guy found on Mount St. Helens. He's a professor, and he actually went to a few, and his forte is on this. And he had the teeth marks on these bones, and he found a match to those by going to the Smithsonian. Okay, Neanderthal. That you don't hear about this guy anymore. Completely shut up. Everybody dropped the subject on it because what were the chances of something like that coming out? The teeth marks were Neanderthal on there. So that's kind of out there for some people, but we know that what they basically look like too. So we have two reasons why those sticks, or three reasons why they could have been using those sticks now. You know, it's mushroom season.
But the one thing that we're overlooking to the both of you is that we did find a fish nearby.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's still whole. It was still whole, and it, you know, it's not stiff or anything. You know what I'm saying? And it does have a stab wound. You kind of wonder. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're making a little. I don't know. Just to, put the pile of sticks on there and let the fish sit on there. So that, maybe they don't want it dirty or I don't know.
It might have been
some way of maybe trying to preserve it. I don't know.
And it might have been a fish that they actually didn't get on the first shot, that they stabbed it and it just kind of swam out a little bit from there and then wound up floating, and the breeze blew it into the shore. And that's where you guys found it.
And,
maybe they were disturbed.
Well, right. And one thing, it is a little bit of a pool, and WOJO was looking at the depth of it. The river flies by. And it was at the beginning where a little mouth opens before it goes into a brook. And we all know, and I'm sure William can add to this as well, when it first comes off that river, they get kind of spun or lost. And all of a sudden, there they are in the beginning before they can gather themselves and either head towards the brook or back out to the river where they can't get them. They're in this pool. And the other thing that, talking with Ernie, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the heron are running.
Oh, they are. That's what you and I were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a heron run right here. I got one now. Yeah. Thank you. We have a heron run right here in Middleborough where I'm at. And not only that, we have the festivals and everything. And there's one right at the bottom of the hill. Matter of fact, where Denny camps, there's a heron run right there. And that, they would have to come up the Taunton River in order to get to the Nemasket River to get to the other river. You know what I'm saying? So all the rivers are connected. So all these major rivers in this area, they have to run the major ones to get to the little ones to get to the brooks. Do you know what I'm saying? So all these different ones make sense.
That makes perfect sense, because that's what you and I were talking about, and that's what we actually found, or somebody I know actually found. Okay. In Washington State, and it was a particular fish that happened to be running off of that creek or small stream or whatever it was at that time of the year. So that's why he went back, a year or so later and found it again with the same stuff that was there. They just rearranged it a little bit, their glyph and everything. So it was actually at the same time that the fish were running. So there you have a little bit more to add to this too. The herring were running
100%. Yeah. And well, the best part about it is if you look at it when they start to run, there's masses of them. We used to put the fish on the stick to cook it sometimes, guts and all. Interesting. A fish bone would be a good tool for scraping out marrow, I reckon. That's a great idea. Yeah. The ribs.
Or a comb.
If you get, like, say at the beginning of them running, there's a little bit less. And then they kind of build up, and then the same on the back end of it, they dissipate, and there's a stragglers, so to speak, right? So I'm almost certain, WOJO, I have to look at the live. I'm almost certain, looking back, that's a heron.
That would be pretty good.
I'm almost
Hey,
certain.
can I ask you guys a
good
question here?
possibility.
Because you mentioned the inlet to this little like I'm going to call it a little pond area or a pool area.
Yeah.
We do know that they make fish traps, and they use rocks to make fish traps. So it funnels the fish into an area
Right.
that they it's going to be harder for they can only get out one way.
Yeah. Right. We talked about WOJO and I talked about that, but WOJO, if you think about it, maybe not so much rocks. That entrance way is kind of jammed up. And I know the river flows, but there's logs blocking that entrance. Because
I've seen logs now, but yeah, I mean,
I have a video when I saw, remember that shadow that was there, then wasn't there? There's a video of the river flying because it was up high. And there's a log right there. And I remember I mentioned it. What's that in the water? Looks like dragon spikes or something. There's logs stuck at that entrance. I wonder, instead of those, and rocks obviously sink, but if they can get a detour, if you just put like an off ramp out of a log because you got it kind of stuck in the ground somewhere, and they're coming down the river and they hit that log and they detour left.
Well, use it as a dam or a shutoff point. I mean, yeah,
just even a detour, because if there's a 10,000 heron running, something's gonna hit that little. They use the locks as it is with heron.
Yeah,
that's what a heron run is. That's what a heron run is. But if you did it, turn that sideways, and you did the same thing like a lock at a wood, they would just bang a left and wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, I think that's a heron, Rich, because at first I'm like a trout. I'm like,
no,
it sort of resembles the colors, but I'm looking at the tail. I'm like, it doesn't look like a trout to me. I just didn't know what type of fish. Herring, I never. It's been years. I mean,
well, we didn't have. But in our defense, we didn't have color to work with because it was grayed out. Right. So we didn't have color. What's up, Mickey Richards? What you got?
It's just the tail, the fish tail, the part of the tail. It was just short and rounded, and that's why I'm like, it didn't seem like, I don't know, just the way it looked. It was just too big for a trout. I don't know why.
Their intelligence is on a higher frequency than ours, so why would they not use tools for a variety of purposes, utilizing what is around them? 100%. That's Curious Cryptids. Thank you. Yep, 100%. Another one of our brilliant minds. Clever buggers, like Amazonian tribes in the rainforest, make those fish traps too. Absolutely, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because the inlet is not super wide, Ernie, right? You're talking about maybe like 6 to 7 feet wide.
Okay.
As you go more inward, it does like get smaller. I'd say like small as where I can cross over. But there are deep pools. It's in sections of that area where I'm like, wow, it's pretty. I could see them. So, like Richie says,
so what you're really alluding to here is the fact is you could get fish into that area, push it up there, block that off, like one individual or whatever, or the log, keep one individual there while a couple of them were a little bit upstream and push them back into that pool. And then you pretty much could be pulling them out of there, particularly if there was a lot of trout. You're not going to get a lot of trout out of there. I mean, that's one of the tactics that we used to use with fishing brooks. If we came across trout, because we know they're going to try to get into a shady area or whatever, push them to another area and have somebody up there making enough noise in the water to have them come back down. And then you can just snag them that way there too. So that's what it sounds like anyways. And now that you say how wide it was, that'd be a piece of cake for two of us, you and I, to get in there and stop them from going back down if we had to, or even going up too far.
And well, yeah, and if you have it planned out and you're going over there, like a restaurant for dinner, you don't need a lot of time. You don't need it. You might not need them to be trapped. You might just say, all right, let's go over there and whatever bumped in. Let's check our pool and see if it's full. If not, we'll go down the stream and check the next pool to see if it's full.
Yeah.
So, maybe there's a few pools like that because there's a bunch of inlets up and down that whole crazy, all rivers really. So there's a lot of different heron. There's blueback heron. There's Atlantic heron. There's so many different herons species. What are these ones? It looks like this guy that I'm looking at, and I'm going to show you in a minute, Woj. I'm just trying to see. I think it's a blueback because I don't remember a long snout like a trout. I remember more rounded, closer to a bass, but not quite as snubbed as a bass. So is that right? Okay, so yeah, so you got freshwater blueback. You got dude, there's so many different herring.
If it was a trout, you would have known instantly.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, trout's more smooth. This had
this had scale. Yeah. It had scale. I knew it wasn't a trout, but I'm
a lot of it had scales. Exactly, Rich.
Yeah,
but again, why is it like approximately 8 to 9 feet away from the inlet up on the hill?
River heron.
Here you go.
There we go. Hello, river heron. That's exactly what I just described, but this is a small one, so it's going to look a little different.
Hey, MS, great to see you.
Pretty sure that's our guy. What's up, MS?
Yeah, another bit of information, too. There's people, they might not understand this. If you were out there and you're lost in the wilderness and you needed to get food, your best thing to know, one of the best things to know is making traps. And why? Because you're no longer one person out there trying to catch a rabbit or a squirrel. By making traps, for each trap that you make is like having another hunter out there.
Yep.
So by making this type of a trap, like the ones that we have seen where they're using stones as a trap. Nice.
Yes.
Yep. That's it. WOJO. Yeah. Yep. It increases their chances.
Sitting up on its belly, kind of perched up. It wasn't laying flat on its side. It was actually on his belly like this and kind of like bent a little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So his jaw was on the ground. We had to lift it up and see his jaw was missing.
So it just didn't get floated in on it, died and on the surface and then floated in on its side because it would have been.
It had a hole in its side. It had a hole in its side that fit. It's right over there. The one with the fingernail looking or the bite mark looking things in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the one. It was that fit it perfectly that I took home. That's the one that gave me the idea that they take the stick, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
sorry.
They take the stick, and I think the way they make this pointed end, is halfway on the stick, like that. You can just go right through the stick and rip. And that's what leaves those little sideway ridges in them, which we're about to see on the wall of research. Bum, bum, bum. I need some music for my wall of research. What do you guys think? Wall of research? All right.
Just do it.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. I think I got it. It's got to be epic.
Right? Hey, Pony Boy. Mr. Tim Vogel. Great to see you, bud.
Hey.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, to get crazy with the wall of research. Tim Vogel, I need you here. Tim Vogel, do not go anywhere. Grab another cup of coffee, your 38th cup of the day, and sit down. Matter of fact, Tim, can you take a link and jump in? Tim Vogel, wilderness expert. You get a link and jump in my show right now. The wall of weird. There you go. Someone's paying attention. The wall of weird. Good God, you made it up. Tim Vogel. A very important person. We have epic music playing. While we wait for your answer. Let's just find out, Jim. Gotta get to the wall of weird. We'll be on the 3 hours.
Just one other thing too, Ernie, is going by the ridge. I don't see no other disturbance of drag marks anywhere.
Right.
Through that ridge. But having that big branch, that pine branch, that's left on the log and some of the branches were stripped off.
All right, you can check.
So they weren't finished what they were doing.
Just go to the box. Tell them you got a really upset stomach and you'll be taking us 30 minutes to do. All right. I'll turn down the epic music so they don't hear you. I think I got something here that plays spot sound. I'll play spot sounds while you're in the outhouse. All right, so.
He's working with the group.
Yeah, he's working with the group.
Yeah. Take a dump.
I work.
Take a dump break.
Get one of those plastic outhouses that'll make fart sounds echo off that fucking wall like a content. And what Tim Vogel means by working with a group, he's on someone else's podcast. Whatever to him. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. Virtual background. I love you. Virtual background. I love you. Gray. See the gray? Gray. See how gray it is all around me? Well, is that epic music or what? Does that get you excited? I wonder if apes or chimpanzees do sparing. I believe I read something about pools with chimpanzees when I was researching. Have you read anything about that, Mr. David DeVoe?
Yeah, they do use tools.
Yeah, it's DeVoe, right?
Yeah, it would be DeVoe. Yes.
Yeah, I was told DeVoe, even though I call you Davio.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're both right, aren't they? Aren't they both right?
Yeah, they're both correct. Yeah, it depends on just where you're from.
Right. My last name is Brault, and in France it's Bro. And my mother's a Desimone in the United States, but in Italy she's a Di Simone.
Yeah, we just dropped the X off of ours.
One of your friends corrected me. I forget who that was. You remember who that was, WOJO? I haven't seen him. He told me it was DeVoe. And I said, well, yeah. I'll call Ernie what I want. Because Ernie calls me what he wants.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he got jealous because we had pet names for each other.
No, those are what you call safe words. Hey. Hey, I see on here that I have a chat down here, so is that possible that I can see people if they're making comments, asking questions?
Oh, I don't know. That might
are you on your phone now, Ernie?
No, I'm on like a little laptop here, and it's like got a blue light on it and it says chat. And I'm thinking if I hit that,
click
okay,
it.
I'm gonna do it.
Click it.
Yep.
What's stopping you?
Okay, I got everybody. Oh, I didn't want to do it and have the darn thing shut off on me. Then I have to brainstorm on how to do it again.
So after all these podcasts that you've been on and talking, you never knew that existed.
A lot of people that I'm on their podcasts, they don't allow that. They don't allow their guests to see everything because they don't. Some people can be nasty. You guys have good moderators, and even still, I would just not pay any mind anyways. But
we have the best.
MS. I will say this: if we believe that there might.
Wow, what the hell's going on? I have things falling and dropping, and oh my god, dude. It is brutal up in here. Sorry.
It's all right.
I screwed it all up.
That's okay.
Because when MS asked the question about apes and chimpanzees, it's passed on. How do we know that maybe it was the forest people that passed it on?
Well,
if they might be first
exactly.
humans.
I mean, you can even go so far as to use what they refer to as the 100 monkey theory. Okay, that's something for everybody to look up. Look that up. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Look up the 100 monkey theory. There's a little bit of information for everybody. 100 monkey theory.
Hey, Chet, great to see you, bud.
Is that Chet, you said?
Yeah.
Been seeing a little bit more Chet lately. I like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
All right. So this is one of the parts of the conversation we had as far as teeth and all that goes.
Right.
And I'm going to start out with this because I think everything else after it is pretty relevant. So, right here. So you see these marks here.
Right.
Now, like this. Now we're talking the possibility of fingernails with that shape, right? But over here, because the theory on this wood, which we're going to look further into, you have all these little markings here, but I don't know if those are fingernails or those are teeth. Now, how close could the fingernail and teeth markings look? So, yeah, we were rocking last night. So, yeah, there's something up with my setting on this background. It's driving me nuts. So, if you're new to what's going on here, what we're doing is show advanced options. There we go. Let me know. Oh, there we go. That's probably better right there. It looks like. Now you can see a little bit more of the wall though. See the green right here because of that shadow. So what we're doing is we found a group of sticks, and I'll pull them all together for you in a second here. Let me just see if I can fix this. Yeah, so there's that. All right, so we don't want to go too crazy there. Let's see if that works out. I think that's
Thank you, BMO.
Yeah, that's livable. So what we're doing is here we found a group of sticks by the shore of an inlet off the major river that we researched near, and in that inlet, if I can do this without breaking shit again, dumbass. We found a dead fish on the side of the inlet, and we believe it's a heron, which would be indicative of this area and native to this area, and they run yearly. He was up on his belly, kind of curled, and he had a hole in his side. And I believe it was this one that we sampled it with, where it fit. So, this is the one you see that's on the screen right now. This one here has those markings in it that you see. So because of these markings, and they're on both sides, that's why I went kind of towards teeth, because makes sense. And then there's ridges right here on these sticks right here. Now this is pine fir, or whatever you want to call it. There are pine firs up top of the hill. It's up top of the hill. There's no beaver dams in the area. There is beaver activity up there on the small pine trees. They're clearly bringing it somewhere far enough away where they don't want a big pine tree to try to carry or drag, right? So they're very small. They're saplings, basically, a little bigger than saplings, I would say. So that's kind of get you up to speed on that. There was many of them. Now this one here has, and you're going to see it on the wall, has no teeth marks on it whatsoever. Nothing. Smooth as a golf club. Right there. Nothing. So that's what kind of really got me going was these. There's two of these. One I left at the gifting site, but this one here I kept. And then there's a big one. Now look at, you got 1, 2, look at 1, 2, 3, 4 extra prongs here. And then a good sized spear. It has like the ridges, and this is wildly cut, I might add. I don't know, it's like it's chewed, but it's kind of smooth in some areas. Now, we don't have a lot of people that live in the bush around here. There's not a lot of, what do they call that? You got a lot of people talk about in their areas. Looks
Feral
like
people.
Yep. Looks like beaver chew markings is what Tim Vogel says. So which parts of it, Tim? Because on this one, Tim, that's what got me going, because it was smooth. Do beavers make things smooth and shiny? And do they cut in these angles like that regularly? And then on some of these, one of my questions is bushcrafters. Thank you, Chet. Yeah, we don't have those here. It's not a bushcraft area. I can assure you that. Let's see. Let me do this because I want to bring something up. You know, and Tim is a wilderness man, the wilderness man, the man of the wilderness. So this is the one we got. Yeah, you can see how it's smooth, right? But one thing I want to show here, and I'm going to zoom in for you guys as much as I can. One thing I want to show here before we get beaver crazy, I want to show you this beautiful cuticle right here. Look how shiny and clean that is. Anyways, you see this here? This area. Look how straight across that is, right? Right? But then you come down, and again, there's no teeth marks. There's these little ridges right here. But you can't even feel them. That is this piece. Right? Let me see if I can get it going the same direction, right? Here we go. So that's this guy, all right? It has these square pull downs all the way around it. Right here. You see them, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want the audience to it. You're going to see them. I got some up close ones, but I want you to see. Look how square they are. Perfectly, right? So my question, I guess, would be to someone of the wilderness variety, how, well, Scott, watch out, bushcraft is a good point. How would a beaver not make teeth marks, but shave a stick totally smooth? Completely smooth. My understanding is beavers don't like pine for eating. It's not their preference, to the point where they sometimes would rather not. And we're in an area with plenty of hardwood. There's tons of hardwood all around. Why would the beaver choose pine? Eating just a cambium layer, but not leaving any teeth marks here, but leaving teeth marks here, but not here. Same stick, basically, right? And there was like 6 or 7 of these around. So that looks like the support stick to the stone slab trap. So that's one of the things that I was curious about. No, they don't eat fish. That's right. Yeah, and we got beavers here. Absolutely. Yeah, we got beavers here as well. Yeah, and we know about the cambium layer, but I'm trying to figure out how they don't leave marks when they're eating the cambium layer, but the other ones they're eating. And wait, isn't it my understanding that they don't like any of that in the pine as far as eating goes? I'm confused by that. Because my understanding, right, Ernie, is that what you read?
I didn't read that they did not prefer the pine, but even if they did, let's say they do, you would have it all the way around the stick. They would be eating all of it, not just a little bit of it.
Oh, look how blurry that is. That's so stupid. They do make them smooth. Plus, swelling in the water would make it smooth. Yeah, it wasn't in the water. But no, that's a good point. Something to note and know. Let's see.
Curious made a pretty good point too.
Yeah, what about
I think.
the fish?
Yeah, the fish. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not 100% sure. It'd be something Tim Vogel would. I thought that beavers do indeed go after fish.
They will eat pine, but it's not preferred, correct? That's my understanding. And if they say they're in an area, what is going on? Is that WOJO?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fine,
It might be. Yeah, Cam's got a good point too, because that's something that you and I talked about, Rich, is teaching the younger ones how to do that.
Beavers do not eat fish. I just looked it up just to confirm. Okay, because I never knew beavers would eat fish, but just to confirm, they do not eat fish.
Yeah, well, we know pine is edible, but pine is not preferred by beaver. And my question is, if there's a plethora of hardwoods, why would they choose pine to eat when it's not preferable?
Right.
That, that's one of my questions as well. So I'm a little taken aback by that as well. So, and my other question is, when they generally say they make a mess and they're throwing sticks around, right? Like how many have you seen? I know it matters on the group of them, right? But how many were there, WOJO? 6, 7 of them? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, 6, 7 of them. It's approximately around. Yeah, it's about that. Yeah. About
what? 10, 15 feet from the fish?
Oh yeah.
That we saw? Okay.
Yep.
And they're down, and they were down at the edge of the water. And generally, you see this kind of shape with this spearhead type thing? Where do those sticks go? Because these sticks are just gone. There's no little sticks anywhere. They couldn't be eating those. And then what makes that shape right here? What makes that shape? Right there. This right here. It just looks square. And then my other question to you is, what? Pine is right. I know that they can. I got that. But because they can. Okay. What do you mean because they can? Like, why does a dog lick his balls? Because he can? Like, what does that mean?
Meaning that they can eat up to that knot area that you're pointing at.
Because they can. Yeah, I got that. I'm not questioning what you find. All right. So here's another question for you. This is one question. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen that shape right there? This shape right here. So I got one coming in here and one going here. Have you ever seen that shape? Yep. Well, that's it. And that's why we're having this conversation, because you have one area, where someone's a wilderness expert, obviously pointing right at the beaver because he finds hundreds of them in the water. And then you have this area now where you have a scene where there's a fish with a hole in it. Now, why wouldn't it be possible if our friends in that area, we know they're in the area because at the top of the hill, there's an opening with a log on the ground, and the granola bar is taken, 80 yards from the gifting area that we have. Why wouldn't they take it afterwards? And I think I brought this up on the live. If a beaver makes it, why couldn't they just use it afterwards? Right? Why couldn't you? Right. Fingernails, right? It looked like fingernails to me. They just didn't eat the knot. But they ate the little branches, the little sticks off it. So, but you could walk up afterwards and use this. I could use it right now. And then I could tell the cops a beaver did it. Well, I could.
Yeah.
A beaver did it. Look, this is us in the history books fighting a T-Rex.
I see what Tim Vogel's put in here. So I have a question for Tim about how far away, because there was no pine trees where these were found. So about how far away would you actually expect a beaver to be carrying a small branch, even looking to make new homes?
Well, yeah, there's definitely.
How far away would you find that?
Yeah, that's a good question but there wasn't a new home. There wasn't there's not a beaver dam in this area, nowhere within sight of it. They would have had to be eating this pine, specifically eating this pine. They would have had to come down from the hill to bring it down to the water to enjoy it. Put it that way.
Right? So that's a really good question, and it's a good point that Tim is making here too, because we want to look at everything as how far away, not so much as would the beavers go looking for a new home, but how far away would they be willing to drag a pine branch or whatever? Because Tim even puts in here too that they do indeed eat fish. They do indeed do some of these things like getting the cambium out from the bark, between the bark and the wood itself. So I'd like to know.
I mentioned this before, Ernie.
Okay.
300 to 650 feet.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then those pine trees are a lot further away than that. You're looking at over 100 yards, well over 100 yards, 200 yards.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, you'd have to check it out.
Yeah, just to be specific. But I was just curious. Could have floated. Not in this area, no. But good point. So these were 10 feet up off the bank of an inlet where there's a pool settled, turning into a brook. So say you're going down the river, you would take a left. There's a little pool, whee, and then there's a brook. And these are located 10 feet that way, up over here, up on the embankment, kind of almost going up a hill.
Right.
They were set on its side and stuff like that, scattered around.
Right. So Tim's still there. Tim, when they're moving and finding themselves a new home, do they predominantly follow these brooks, or do they get up deep into the woods? I mean, do they actually chance that? In other words, there would be evidence of the beaver coming up the brook, using the sides of the banks or whatever, so that we can all eliminate that, because that would be essential right there too.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty far.
Yeah, I think it depends on what time of year it is as far as a beaver taking a chance like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they would. What is that noise, WOJO? Are you typing?
No, it's just no, I just got a picture here that I'm looking at that I took, where these branches were over a log, a log where why would a beaver like climb over this log and start cleaning them out the way they do? I'm just looking at a picture. I thought I sent them to you a while back, but it's just to prove a point on something. That's all. Because some of them are cleaned, some of them are being picked.
Yeah.
Where they
and they're pretty much found all together too, because I'm reading Kurt's comment here too. These were not like scattered around willy-nilly. They were pretty much found all together.
Correct. Yes. Remember what I said, Richie, about the pine tree being one of the Bigfoot's favorite trees to use for shelter, hunting blinds, and obviously tools to use to hunt. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's what we're here for. We want to be fair, rational, balanced. You know, we want to be the best researchers in the world and not jump at everything. That's why I want to have a conversation. And maybe we could show the rest of the world you just don't have to run around shitting on each other and going this, you know. Yes, they do go miles. Interesting. It's funny because I've seen some beaver activity in that area, but I've never seen a freaking beaver in that area. I've never seen one jump in the river, nothing. I've seen them jump in on another part of the triangle in the river, and I've seen them a beaver dam up a little bit past the Farley. But I've never seen anything for beavers in this area. None of these inlets have beaver dams, beaver huts, beaver-like houses. None of them. Nothing.
Or stumps.
Dude,
stumps
nothing,
especially.
dude. No, there is a couple of stumps up top of that hill that looks like beaver activity. It could be hatchet. I don't know. I got to look at it. But typically hatchet is down and beaver is up. You know what I mean? Is the way I kind of look at it, right? Because a beaver's short.
Because because beavers work in area, Rich, right? Like I'm going by me when I used to be a hunter, especially in New Hampshire, guys. The dams I've seen is the biggest ones I've ever seen. But they work. A big, huge, like half an acre, just annihilated.
I only saw like 3 small trees, slightly bigger than a sapling. I'd have to look at the cut marks because like a hatchet looks a lot like beaver activity, right? But a hatchet would have to go down because a human is above where they're cutting, and a beaver would go up because he's below where they're cutting. Do you know what I mean? You will. What do you mean I will? I've owned the place since 2002. Get out of here with yourself. I ain't seen shit. He's a cryptid to me, buddy. It's beaver foot. So, all right. So we have a great feedback from someone who's a wilderness expert, who's actually working with a group now, teaching them about the wilderness. Now we take that and we go and look at the way these are set up. And the thing I still don't get is the bark being square. And I know the teeth, I get that, but I'm trying to figure out, there's no extra drag marks in here. You know what I mean? It just pulled down, it looks like. Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
I wonder if they generally go sideways on the stick as opposed to dragging down. Right.
Right. That was the
because it goes like this, kind of sideways, but they don't come down.
Right.
And even by where the bark is, it looks like it's pulled, where it's square, it's going sideways. What the hell is wrong with my hand? Yeah, well, I'm probably should have considered that I'm allergic to pine.
Have a good night, Tim.
See? You can see I'm red. I don't know if you see it. No, probably not. I'll break.
Yeah, I can see it.
Hiving up. Thank you, Tim. That's awesome. So Tim sees a lot of these sticks like this. Now, keep in mind, Tim's not right here holding it. The smooth one, I'm sorry, has got me. I'm not. Yeah, that ain't, nah. Because you can't tell. All right, so respectfully, of course, to Timothy, to tell me that it made this one smooth, but was doing the same technique and going after having the same objective on 2 different sticks, and one comes out with chew marks up and down it, and the other one comes out smoother than a baby's ass. I don't fucking think so. I don't know. I don't see that happening. Look it's the same technique. Look see the square?
Yeah.
Up by the knot. Look at it. Look at that straight line. So how are you getting in here without poking your nose off of this? How's that happening?
Right.
Huh? How's that? Look at. How's that happening? You have big teeth or not, even if your teeth are up here, you're still going to catch that thing. That thing there, right?
But Rick, why would you waste all your energy on small sticks instead of like larger ones that you're going to drag down, much bigger ones that you?
Why not just pick the shit? Why not just pick the shit you like?
It's not making that pile. It's like pixie sticks, like forming into a wall that they.
But why not just pick the shit you like? Like you don't like pine.
Somebody mentioned that maybe they're trying to teach, and this is what you and I talked about, Rich, teach the younger ones what to do. And that's why I mentioned the 100 monkey theory, and somebody chimed in with the definition of that. And I'd like to point out, because in the 100 monkey theory, they actually found by teaching chimpanzees sign language, which we all know about and everything. Yep. The chimpanzees were actually teaching other chimpanzees some of the sign language. So the information is passed on that way there. It's a learned thing, just like what we do. So could it be that they are doing that? And I seen somebody else point out the fact that rodents, making a deadfall to catch rodents, they have been seen digging for rodents, moving large rocks and digging the rocks out with their hands, which would mean that they're wearing their fingernails down, doing something like that too. Something that WOJO and I were talking about, because, I seen their hand, at least this individual's hand, and it didn't have long fingernails on it, on their hands at all. So either they're biting their fingernails off or they're just not growing. Same thing when we look at their tracks. We're not finding big, long toenail tracks like it was a grizzly bear, things like that. It's
Right.
obviously like dogs. If you let them out in the yard enough, on rough surfaces, they wear their nails down.
Right.
So, we do have those things in there now too. They could have been teaching their youngs. And I see that where Tim was saying, well, they will travel miles to a new home if it gets overburdened in one area. But that would be something to be looking for, is, do we got proof of beavers coming into that area? And you guys don't.
No,
Yet, so.
I've never seen a beaver in this. I've never seen
or any sign.
Any sign. There's not a dam or anything around there. There's not one of those big huts with sticks. Nothing.
Right.
But even the small, even water sources around
nothing.
Ernie, that they alter, they ruin, like they start just kind of like ruin
they knock trees out,
the waterways and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. We don't see that anywhere in our area.
And generally, when you guys are out there, is WOJO usually is like taking the high ground, looking for all kinds of signs, and he hasn't seen any of those kinds of signs up there.
Right. So I don't mean to cut everybody off. Let's do this, because I'm already past my 8:30 mark. So look at.
Oh.
No, don't worry about it. Part of it's my fault because I have a big mouth and a long opening. But Chet says the buck teeth are squarish teeth, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So look above that comment on that stick. Somebody talk to me. That ain't squarish teeth.
Right. That's not square.
And it's two different choices, basically: a rounded like fingernail or a human like tooth. That's what that is. That's what that is. I don't know any part of that, of what a beaver would do to make that shape. I don't know what a beaver would or wouldn't do to make this smooth like this. If you're eating the same thing off the bark off a pine tree, and you're leaving marks and dig marks because you're a beaver, what different technique do you use to leave it smooth? And if you had that technique historically and knew how to use that technique to get left, because think about it, if you dig it into the pine, you're eating more pine, which is not your preference. So why wouldn't you use this smooth technique and eat less pine? Because you're eating the pine because more so, I guess, because you have to, even though there's 1 billion oak, elm, what are the other ones? There's all kinds of
cedar.
There's spruce. There's there's birch trees, which I believe they love the most. There's even sequoia. We even have native New England sequoia trees or whatever they are here that are really solid hardwood. There's another one that I researched because I ran into it, and it's called, oh goddamn, Rich, I can't remember shit when I need to.
Is it a sycamore?
Sycamore,
Rich?
Thank you. Sycamore is one, and yes. Yeah, they're hot as rocks. Oh my God. So my point is, you're looking around the forest. You're like, oh my God, I got birch on aisle 7. I got sycamore on aisle 2, right? I got some oak on aisle 3, some elm on aisle 4. Let me go to the fucking generic section and get that government cheese. You know what I'm saying? I like the government cheese. Don't get me wrong. That was my favorite after-school snack when I was a kid. Trust me. The government cheese was delicious. You could cut that thing as thick as you wanted. But anyways, beside the point. The cereal sucked. All right? Think about that. I'm going to go over here in aisle 1, and I'm going to get me some pine. That's one of the part of the thinking I'm having a problem with. Someone, they mentioned deer as well. And I don't know much about, but that would be if the food was scarce. In this area, there's an abundance of all kinds of food, man, for days. Just Google beaver teeth. Yeah, I got it. Right. I got you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think that shape right there is beaver teeth. Do you think that looks like beaver teeth, Chet? I got the picture on the screen, bro. You answer the question, bro. You're the one who brought up how they were square. I'm countering that with these roundish type shapes. You tell me now. Is that beaver markings right there? Right there. Is this beaver markings? You tell me. This is an interactive podcast. You brought up that they were square. I want you to tell me. You Google it. How's that? And while you're there, why don't you Google me? Google me, Chet.
Rich, you know one of the sticks you have, the one that's got the real sharp point?
Yeah, that's the one I
you have it with you.
Which one? The skinny?
Not the smooth one. That's got the long. It's like the long.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's on the
screen.
Look
at that on an angle. Right. So again, it's like he's sticking in his fingernail. He's like ready to strip it off and then maybe possibly bite it. Who knows? To make that makeshift point, 100%. But he didn't complete it. We just,
right.
Who knows?
And who's not to say that he look at the size? Look at that thing. That thing's gonna kill somebody, right? And who's not to say, like I said, not only use it after a beaver like makes it, right? I was doing this because of those ridges, right? Not only use it after the beaver makes it, right? Why not learn? Did they learn from watching beavers? Do they teach their young by having the young watch beavers make these? Because we all agree on one thing. In a primitive world, I mean, hell, according to American history books, fucking T-Rex fighters, these, well, it's such bullshit, dude. It's so stupid.
Why are you picking on the T-Rex? What about the big mammoths?
I'm picking on Rand McNally. Do you remember those lying fuckers that gave you those books when you were in school?
Oh, yeah.
And they told you that the Neanderthal was 4'6"? The only thing in the world at that time that was 4'6"? They tried to kill a T-Rex with a stick? How stupid do you think we are? Come on, get out of here with that shit. That's a load of crap. Anyways, I feel a little better. Yeah, well, that's what I mean, William, right? Why not? Okay, kids, sit down. There's a family of beaver over there, and they're going to make some sticks for us today. And, basically they watch. Oh, and they can make them themselves. Look at that. You can learn how to do it. Right?
Kurt. Caveman Banter.
What did you say?
I can see Richie like maybe with some a beaver kilt on and just running around the woods like stabbing freaking searching for deer.
Right? Yeah. No, you're
Naked.
right, Beto. Even dragging your weak human nails down soft, yeah, you could make the same type of marks. Yep. Best tree is pine for vitamin C and foraging. I agree. Just Google beaver teeth and look at the. Oh, we're already. I'm not going back there. Don't go back there, Caveman Banter. We need a beaver skull. So I'm working on it. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we can all agree to all this, but it's just the context of our surroundings, meaning finding the fish right above on the ridge. Remember that tree that was down that we found the granola bar. You found the heel that was approximately like 6 feet away from that slide that going down the hill. That's what I'm putting those things together, because once I reached down the hill, I didn't see any footprints, no web marks, no claws, no nothing.
Nothing.
Because the beavers have like that waddle walk,
right?
They do.
And
they dig right into the ground. And this is
part of my question right here. By the way, this is my new wall stick right here. The actual stick that we have. This is it right here. So, see these here, guys? Well, Yeah, if their teeth, why are they so close like that? Right? It looks like they're running down. I would have to say down rather than this way. Because if it's beaver teeth, they're not like Tic Tacs. They're not shaped like Tic Tacs. Google it, all right?
Right.
So what is it? Right, and that's my point. If you try taking this out right here, look at guys, you see this right here? Right? You try taking that. Watch what happens. Now that's just me, not Bigfoot. I can only get a little piece at a time. Watch. Then I have to go back in. And then I get another little piece. Right? So I'm doing little pieces at a time, right? Well, look what I just left behind.
Right.
It's a little see how it's cleaner right there?
Little divot.
Yeah. That's what I did with my fingernail. So it's something to think about, right? So do we think that these are beaver teeth? Everybody on the side, because we're wrapping this up. Everybody think right here. Do you think, I'm asking specifically the picture that you're looking at before you answer right here. Do you believe that those are beaver teeth?
No.
Neither do I. Anybody else on the side do you believe this is beaver teeth? Right here.
No. They would be all around it, not just in that one location. Yeah. And even if we use the theory that if it's soaking in the water, it expands and then it comes out smooth because it expanded, why didn't it expand that? Right. It would have done it would have happened to the whole stick, not just that one area. That is
sorry.
Is different.
William.
What?
William Nighthawk says, I knew a girl nicknamed Beaver Teeth. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So everyone's saying no.
First of all, I want to add to that comment, William. Good for you, bro. Good for you. All right, moving on. I'm glad it didn't work out, brother.
I can add more, but let's move on.
So what Kurt says, Kurt must have got up to get a cookie or something. Ever see any beaver prints or markings along the waterside recently while just browsing around? It's just coming out of winter, which means they're active. Everybody help Kurt out.
I think that WOJO crossed over that. Never seen them.
Yeah.
I walked the whole inlet.
I have never seen beaver activity on this river since 2002. That's it. Ever. It covers everything.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rich, let me ask you this: have you ever seen any beaver activity?
Elders, I'll kill you, WOJO. What?
Yes, I like that. Oh, someone take a screenshot of that. That was pretty cool.
God bless JT. Thank you for coming tonight, brother. And hello, Elder Medicine Bear Claw. That's right, everybody. We have Elder Medicine Bear Claw here. She's calling number 73. What's your answer? You've won. All right, here we go. Bucky is a strange name for a girl, William. He's got a good
guys. You guys are awesome.
Good point there. What year was it? It's just a curious question I have. Oh boy. Oh my god.
Oh my god. She must have been a sweet fang. Fang.
Oh my sweet fang. Oh boy. Maybe she. Well, maybe she was a DEI girlfriend. Sorry if that hurt your feelings. Sorry, not really, but sorry. All right. Anyways, hey, what's up, Z? So yeah, so we all agree. We all agree that this right here is not a beaver teeth, and I still do not have a straight answer on why this stick is smooth. I don't believe you can eat the same nutrient that you're trying to get at on the same softness or gauge of stick and not have the same technique. I don't understand that. Why is it smooth? So, and I'm looking at it for smaller ones to say, oh, maybe it's a baby. But there's nothing there to say it's a baby. Do you know what I mean? 1980. Oh, all right, 1980, you're safe. There was no Buc-ee's back then, bro. Except, Buc-ee Den. You know what I mean? So, but, that was only 1979, so that don't count. Oh, maybe he was a Buc-ee.
Buc-ee Beaverton, the summer of '69.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God!
I enjoy it more I enjoy it more when it's them going off the rails. Ernie. All right, everybody. So let's do this before we go. Where are we at? How do we feel about? Let's go this. Type me in this. Do your gauge on each one. Give me your full percentage. Say 51% manipulated. We'll say manipulated, so we don't just say the word Bigfoot. Okay, that's 100% of an answer. I don't want that. 51% manipulated, 49% beaver. You give me your numbers right now. Give me your numbers. We're going to close the show out with that. What I'll do is wait for some of those answers to come in. And while Ernie, do you have anything else you would like to add to this besides I look great in front of this wall?
No, I think it's pretty much all covered right there.
Excellent. While we wait for everybody's answers, grumbles at Firefox. What? That small stick was made to peel bark off other limbs. Interesting. Ooh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
BMO is interesting as a whole. So as I wait for that percentage, and I'm telling you, I want some percentages pumped in here, guys. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this one more time.
I measure out. I can do that.
What is it?
It's just a heat filter.
Oh, nighttime? Man down, man down. You all right? Oh, God. Oh, shit. That was not on purpose. Holy shit.
All right. Yes. Yeah, get off me, Bucky. All right. How about when you slid down the tree trunk? Yeah, that would be a really good one. That would be my favorite part of that video right there is when I land, my foot comes up again. I landed on my side, my foot goes, boop. All right. I got no percentages from anybody, I guess. All right, good.
No, this percentage is coming up.
Yeah, you got a couple. Yeah.
70% manipulation, 30% animal. Fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Her last name was Butt. Becky Braver Teeth Butt.
Oh, boy.
Firefox updated on me and closed me out of the show. No! 100% tools, and now Richie has them, so they got to make more. No, I think that's great. I think you're right. Well, I think this has been a fun show. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Ernie, I thank you for last minute coming in. Definitely not beaver. Looks manipulated with a nail. 5% beaver, 95% manipulated. Thank you. I love it. 60-40 Williams, 60-40 Castile. Love it, man. These are all fair answers. And that's what we want to be, guys. We don't want to be like, oh, my God. You know, like the picture we have of him, that's 100%. That's factual.
Right.
That's factual. You can't change that. It's encrypted in a phone and tracked on YouTube Live. You can never change. That's 100% a Forrest person, our friend the Satunga. Right there with a light attached to him. You can't change that. This type of stuff, we want to reel it in a little bit. Reel it in a little bit and have an adult conversation and try to figure this stuff out together. This was awesome. This is what I want to do this show. This is why I love doing this show. Would you like to come in here and see me for a moment?
I'll sit.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my Jessie girl.
Check the merch store.
Check the merch store?
Yes.
Why? What'd you do?
I added a Sam's Pretty Paranormal shirt and a new Banter shirt.
A new Sam's Pretty Paranormal shirt has been uploaded to the merch store, and a new Banter shirt has been uploaded to the merch store, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
And
What?
Ghost Cats Encrypted has her.
And Ghost Cats Encrypted has her own stuff, but they have their own fourth walls, I believe, right?
Yeah, but you know.
But anyways, we have extra stuff.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, we have fun. What does that mean? We have fun stuff.
Look at the sweatpants.
You didn't say that.
You got
Don't get me in
sweatpants?
trouble.
You who's got sweatpants?
People have been asking.
Oh, well, all right. Some things are hard to make, though. You guys just ask and act like it's just going to show up. It just doesn't work.
I heard
doesn't-
sweatpants. I'll check it out.
We were
No,
asking.
No, you weren't asking. You're telling me. All right, fucking. That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a Neanderthal fighting a T-Rex.
Is that
D
okay?
who is wondering, Rich, boxer shorts.
Yes, I'm wearing some right now. Thank you, Dehu, for asking.
Did you get all the pictures that D was asking for last night, by the way?
What? Tyler, we're leaving. Get out of here.
Tyler!
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 What in the fuck,
Oh,
Tyler?
no.
What are you doing here so late, Tyler?
You just got out of Target.
You got out of Target?
Target.
What were you doing over at Target? Did you take the car or the train?
It was working.
Oh, he's working over here. You got a roller dog, Tyler?
Roll a dog.
Get to the chopper. All right, we gotta get out of here. So let's do something fun. Let's see if we can do it and have There you go. Ernie. Speaking of merch,
Yep.
It has a great song that plays with it. So everybody, thank you for being here tonight. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and FUX right there. Boof. Suck it. What was that? The wrestlers that used to do that or something? Thank you all for last night, watching us last night, out in the woods with my boy Maddox, catching the lights, man, mind blowing. And my favorite moment of last night's investigation, when I asked Max, how is he feeling? And before it was stress and anxiety, and he goes, I feel calm. That made my heart feel so good. They welcomed my child and made him feel at peace. That was amazing because Jesse felt that feeling. I felt that feeling. WOJO has felt that feeling. Everybody who's been out there has felt that feeling. Martin and Denny. And now, our friend Anthony, who was out there last night, get to feel that feeling. It's a beautiful, euphoric feeling. And I hope you all get to feel that. And I hope you just feel that tomorrow just because you love people around you. That's what it's all about. They're reading that off of us and emulating it back to us. So thank you for watching that episode last night of Daytime Dusk and Darkness on my son Jack's birthday. Mwah! I love you, baby Jack. I see you, Ella. I love you, Mama. And I think WOJO's going to get us out of here, but we're going to do some music while we head out. WOJO, get us out of here because that's what you do.
You got it, boss. Well, hey, everyone, thank you for all being on here, and Ernie, and we love you all.
Thank you.
We are home of the boom. Let's go.
Love you, Ernie.
Love you too.
Don't forget to buy the merch. West and Great Pamela. Thank you, Pamela.